Hi folks, welcome back to Bougie Comfort Food. I'm your hostess, Mary Landry Davis. And today we are making Southwest egg rolls. Now I know you're thinking, Southwest egg rolls? Okay, so whenever we go out as a family to eat and you go to somewhere like Applebee's or Chili's or Fridays or somewhere like that, they always have an appetizer platter that you can get. And one of my favorite things on it, other than the spinach and artichoke dip, is Southwest egg rolls. And I love those big mouth bites, those sliders with the bacon. Ugh, we'll make those one day too. All right, so we're going to make Southwest egg rolls today. And to make them a little bit better for us, we're going to do them in my air fryer toaster. So we're going to air fry them in my little air fryer oven, and instead of putting them in deep fat and frying them. Now, you don't need a ton of ingredients for this recipe, but it does take a little bit of prep. I've got a can of corn, drained, a can of black beans, rinsed and drained, and to that I'm going to add 12 ounces of chopped spinach. Now, when you put this in the food processor and dice it up as small as I did, you're going to need to put about 4 cups of spinach, tightly packed cups. And you're going to need to use 4 cups worth to come up with 12 ounces of chopped spinach. Now, I know you're thinking, spinach doesn't sound very Southwesty to me. No, but it's a great way to get a vegetable in there. And let's be serious, it's not cilantro. Okay? So, we have our corn, our black beans that are rinsed and drained, and to that we've added 12 ounces of spinach, chopped in our food processor very fine. Next to that, we're going to add a 1/4 cup of lime juice. Let's get it turned around so I can see my 1/4 cup. So we have a 1/4 cup of lime juice, a packet of taco seasoning. Now this time I know you're thinking, where's her can? She always uses her can. Well, this time we're doing it a little bit different. I've got some low sodium taco seasoning. Now those of you who know me know I usually make my own taco seasoning, or I use Old El Paso. Today we're using a packet. Don't judge me. All right, so we've got a 1/4 cup of lime juice, and to that, I'm going to add a hot sauce that a lot of folks that I know are not familiar with, and it's called Valentina. Now, it's got a little orange cap, and you can see ours is well-loved and almost gone. So we're going to take a 1/4 cup of this. Now, Valentina has a pretty good heat to it. It's kind of got a chili powdery kind of taste. And I really think that when you're doing Tex-Mex food, it's a wonderful hot sauce to use when you're going to use hot sauce. Now, I know you're thinking, wow, she didn't do that over the bowl. It's going to be okay, trust me. I'm just trying to get every bit of this Valentina out. One of my friends said every Mexican household in Texas has a jar of Valentina. I said, yeah, but how many of them use them up like we do? All right, let me throw this away real fast. So that gives me a half a cup of liquids. That's the Valentina and the lime juice. Now I just kind of stir them together. And you're probably going, whoo, sounds like a lot of hot sauce to add to something. It is, but I have a mild cheese in here today. I'm using Colby Jack. You could use shredded pepper jack if you want a lot more heat. But today I'm out of pepper jack, so it's going to be Colby Jack. So I figure I could fudge my my heat from somewhere else. Now, in addition to the ingredients I've so named, we are going to do, I took 3 chicken breasts, excuse me, 3 chicken breasts, and just put them in a full packet, no seasoning, no anything. I just wanted the chicken, and put it into a 400-degree oven and just baked them so that I would have a nice baked chicken breast. Now you could use thighs if you wanted to, if that's more your budget or your flavor for your family. I prefer skinless, boneless chicken breasts, and these were kind of small, so they kind of work out that way. Now, we are just going to loosely chop this chicken up. I could have put it into the food processor and pulverized it. But everybody knows sometimes it's nice to get a little bite of meat in your egg roll. You know, it makes you say, oh, there's meat in here. And not just have the illusion of it. Now I'm just giving it just a loose chop. And the next thing I'm going to do to it, after I get it in, you know, small pieces, I'm going to put it into a bowl with my lime juice and my Valentina. And I'm going to stir that all in till it kind of saturates this dry chicken. Well, it's not really dry, but you know what I mean. Unseasoned chicken, baked chicken. If I had to live on that diet, I think I'd cry. Because I'm just not an unseasoned, plain rice kind of girl. And just this past Christmas, I had someone tell me that was the bariatric diet they were on currently. And I felt terrible for them. But I get having to kind of detox and figure out what's causing the problem, which is where this young lady was in her journey. So we're just going to dice up this chicken, and you see I'm just using a fork and knife like I would at the dinner table because it doesn't have to be special, okay? Once I get it mixed in with all the veggies and the seasonings and everything in the bowl, you're barely going to know where the chicken is. You're just going to taste it. So it doesn't have to be pretty today. Now, as you can see, we're taking things at a little slower pace today. I've been battling a few health issues. Those of you who have been waiting on various recipes to come out or just looking forward to something posting, I apologize that I have not posted well for the start of the new year. Basically, we had some that we had taped and had ready to roll. I put them all out there and got sick around the holidays and threw my back out. So standing on my feet doing recipes for you nice folks was not in my agenda at that time. But I'm here today with a goodie. Now we have made this one once before, and it came out pretty good. If your chicken is not absolutely 100% done, don't panic. Because this recipe, like I said, we're going to be cooking it, at least the outside of it, a little bit. So basically, you know, just know that you've got a little give in this recipe. It does not have to be perfect. It can be, the mixture can be made up ahead of time. It might be able to be frozen, although it will change the texture of your spinach. Know that. But because you're frying this one, air frying this one, I really wouldn't make them more than a day ahead of time. Because when you go to reheat them, they're just going to get soggy. Now, if soggy egg rolls are your thing, feel free. Now, the other way that this is different than actual egg rolls and makes it Southwest is it is rolled into an extra large flour tortilla. Now, I use flour tortillas. You are welcome to use a corn tortilla if you choose. It's just not my preference. But, you know, every cook has something they do a little bit different in their kitchen. And for me, you know, I just I do it this way. And that's why some of you are here. Because you want an easy peasy recipe that doesn't take a ton of prep time and doesn't take a fight to make. Now, if you enjoy this recipe, please feel free to comment down below. I try to get back to everybody who comments fairly quickly. Sometimes I forget, you know. We haven't had a whole lot of interaction yet in the channel. Few people have commented, but not a ton. We are getting some views, so that's nice. We do have 29 subscribers right now, 29. So I want to thank everyone who has subscribed to our channel. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel and you think this is the kind of cooking channel you can live with, it's not all jumping around and having to do the next, you know, show pony trick in cooking. It's just simple recipes for simple folks with a little bit of upscale flair. Consider subscribing. If you subscribe, consider hitting the notification bell. You'll know every time a new video comes out. So, you know, if this looks like your kind of meal, or this sounds like your kind of thing, we have all kind of things on this channel. One of the ones that's been really popular is inside out egg roll bowls. Super simple recipe, real easy to make, not a ton of prep time. I'm always a big fan of something that if it's going to take a lot of prep, it's something I can do sitting down. You know, if I've got to shuck corn for a recipe and pull all the silk out and everything, let me sit down and do it. Because I don't want to do all that prep on my feet. And I'm sure a lot of you agree with me. Anywho, so I'm just trying to get things done. I apologize if it seems like I'm just meandering and doodling on along. I wish my mother were still alive, because as much as she found out she loves taquitos, this meal would have been totally up her alley. She liked anything you could dip, you know? She really was a dipper. It's like something that had a sauce on it, or fried chicken that she could dip into gravy and potatoes, or, you know? She was not a woman with bougie tastes, but she liked to go to a nice restaurant, and she knew how to order at said nice restaurant. So, you know, my mother had class. My aunt is honestly who taught me most of what I know for etiquette and table manners. She used to take me to functions after she had made sure I hadn't forgotten how to eat like a lady. She'd take me to the social functions that would happen for her, like her sorority luncheon and things like that when they were giving out awards. She thought maybe I'd enjoy that. So my aunt was a little more high maintenance than my mother was. My mother just liked to have her own money and spend it the way she wished. And that's fine too. If that works for you in your marriage, you go for it, boo-boo. Me and my wife, we kind of live kind of simple. We don't eat out very often. Most of the time I cook, or Randy cooks. He is very kind. He gives me a break from cooking every night. But things like this, he understands, you know, doing stuff for my channel and trying to grow my brand. I have looked into other things. I know that a lot of folks do Patreon, and a lot of folks have various things and sponsorship. Well, we don't have the viewers yet for sponsorship. And, you know, if somebody joined my channel, which is what they call it, joining. If somebody joined my channel, I don't even know what I would send them as a thank you, but I'd send them something. Because I always felt, you know, the people who made that little extra effort of, hey, thanks for sending me $5 a month, you know. It's always nice when they acknowledge it. One of the things we have considered doing is putting on a live, filming a live for you guys. And my wife will have to help me take questions and everything from anyone who might have something they wanted to do on a live. How I'd coordinate this, I don't know. And how I'd plan to do it, I'm not sure about that either. But it's just something I'm kicking around right now. Now, as you see, I'm almost done with my chicken. And we're going to mix in that lime juice and that Valentina with that. And then dump it into our bowl with all of our ingredients. Now, the way that you need to wrap these up is not always, I don't think it's quite the way you would wrap up a burrito, or at least not well. As most people know, I was born in Louisiana, not Texas. I have always been into Tex-Mex food and have really gotten into making Tex-Mex food more since I've moved to Texas. Of course. A lot more ingredients probability here. Ooh, I should have gotten a bigger bowl. That's okay. If we stir it gently, we can still do it. And a missed piece of chicken. That's okay. That is easily remedied. I hear Fred's collar jingle jangling. So he's looking for mischief. All right. So, like I said, 1/4 cup of Valentina and 1/4 cup of lime juice. And that is what is going to go on this plain chicken. Now, you might be saying to yourself, whoa, what's that going to do? That's not a lot. It doesn't have to be a lot. It just has to coat it. And you'll see my chicken is going to be bright orange. It is going to be well and truly coated. So I hope everyone is doing well. And we definitely thank you for being here. One day I'll have to, if we ever do a live, I'll have to introduce everybody to our background cast of characters, all the animals. Some of y'all I know would be asking to see Lovey the Pit Bull, or Abby the Swamp Dog, or Fred the Cat. I know our dear friend Margot would love to see Fred the Cat featured in a video. And I'm going to just take a little bit of this chicken out of this bowl. You may be saying, what's she going to do, snack on it? No. I'm going to get the rest of what's stuck in my bowl, in my pit. Whew, in my measuring cup. I'm going to get it out one of these times, I promise. And go ahead and get all that so I waste not, want not, right, folks? All right. So, let me clear these aside. So, we have our bowl that has our corn, our drained and washed black beans, our spinach that we did in our food processor, and our taco seasoning. And to that, we're going to add the chicken that we diced and rolled around in Valentina and lime juice. Valentina and lime. All right. Potent looking stuff, kids, I'm telling you. Now, what we're going to do, just give that a quick stir. Mix it all together. And I'm telling you, you could heat this up and put cheese over the top of it and eat it as a casserole if you really wanted to. A low-carb casserole. You got plenty of veggies in here. And it's a good amount of chicken. Now, like I said, I used 3 small breasts. If you didn't have that and all you had was, say, a can of chicken, you could put a large can of chicken in here. Of course, drain it before you do it. And I would mix the Valentina and lime juice into it like I did so that your chicken gets coated in that flavor. You want that heat on that plain dry chicken, you know? All right. So, this is what it looks like now. We've got our corn, our black beans, our spinach in there. And to that, we're going to add, I'm going to use my Valentina cup again. To that, we're going to add 2 cups of finely shredded cheese. Now, you could use pepper jack should you choose to. Okay, just a smidge more. And yes, that is a technical measurement, a smidge. It's a little more than a skosh and a little less than a little mo. So, anyway, 2 cups of finely shredded cheese. And I know what you're thinking. You're probably saying, whoo, that's a lot of ingredients. I'm feeding 3 grown adults over here. And in addition to that, I want to make sure that everybody has plenty of food and that there's a few left over to have on another day. I won't cook them ahead of time. I will actually store my mixture. But know that you can feed 4 adults off of this very easily. You will have plenty of food. If you need to stretch it even bigger than that, you can do this with refried beans and Spanish rice on the side, and you could feed a whole horde of folks if you've got a big enough air fryer. I don't use any toothpicks or anything to hold mine shut because I'm going to be doing mine on a basket. So toothpicks and all that won't help me a whole lot. And so give me a minute. I'm going to get my rolling station set up and I'll show you how we get these rolled up into Southwest burritos. Hang tight. We'll be right back. Okay, folks, we're back. Now, I've got my station all set up so that I can get these rolled up and not make too much of a fuss out of it. Now, listen to me. This is a messy process. And I'm going to teach you a few tricks here that may or may not help you. Okay, if you look at your tortilla, One side's going to be more white. The other side's going to be speckled. Take the white side and put it down on a plate. Why? Because that's going to be your outside of this chimichanga. Because really it's kind of like a chicken chimichanga. So, all right. So we're going to take a good scoop. Now you see I have on my gloves. It's because I'm about to be spraying cooking spray. And I'm dealing with the stuffing of these. It's just kind of messy. All right, so we want about ½ cup of filling. Now I'm using extra large burritos, flour tortillas. If you're not using an extra large, please feel free to use less stuffing. Now, the way that I roll these is in the style of chimichangas. You're going to fold it over the toppings from each side and meet it in the middle, okay? You should be able to put your fingers behind that stuffing and it should look like the end of a burrito that's facing you. Then you're going to take it, flip it up, flip it over again until you reach that end. Now, if you wanted to, you could fry these. Deep fat frying. I would take toothpicks and run them through this open flap. Because I'm doing this in the air fryer, I don't have to have it perfectly sealed when I put it down on my mat. That is the side that's going to go down on the basket so that it will seal that side. Now, the next step, this is where it gets clumsy for me. Shake it up real good. Next step is to spray your cooking spray. So we're going to spray a little bit underneath the flap and fold that flap down. That oil will help hold that flap in place and fry that solid. Now we're going to take the other sides and just kind of tilt it up. Make sure, whoops, flipped it onto the plate. That happens. That's why I do it over a plate. And we're going to spray both of the ends with cooking spray. Now you're going to spray these again once they are midway through their frying cycle. But I'll show you how to do that. All right, so we have our speckled side. Our white side's going to be a softer side. I still have a lot of oil on my hands from that last spray. So all I'm doing is I'm rubbing it over the surface of that burrito. It will help soften it up. It will help start the oil process. All right, but we want to try to get this done fairly quickly. Now, my toaster oven is also an air fryer, and it works a little differently than, say, like the Presto air fryer. So mine, I just put it on air fry and then put, you know, how long I want it to do it. It doesn't have a temperature to air fry. So what we want to do is, if you have one that has a temperature, I would say do these at like 375, do them for 10 minutes, take them, spray them again, and do them for an additional 10 minutes, okay? So 20 minutes total at 375. If you choose not to get it out and spray it again, that's fine. They will still turn out well. You won't have ruined the process. It just won't be the process I'm showing today. All right, so these guys are going to have to get pretty cozy in this basket, all right? They're almost touching. So I'm going to keep on making my rolls, and once I get this basket filled, we're going to put it on the air fryer and get it cooking, and I'll start making my next batch of egg rolls at that point. So give me a few minutes, probably about 20-30 minutes, and I'll be back to you and I'll show you what they look like coming out. All right, guys, hang tight. We'll be right back.
Much later.
Okay, folks. So we had our Southwest egg rolls in my toaster air fryer, and you do them for 15 minutes after you've greased all sides of the wrap that you have, and you set it into your basket. Then halfway through, after 15 minutes, you're going to take them all, flip them, and spray them again. So spray the top side and then flip it over to the bottom side and spray it again. And what you end up with is this. Doesn't it look pretty? And you can hear the crunch. All right, guys, so here's how I deal with these. To make them easier to handle, I take them and slice them on a diagonal. Gives more surface area, gives you somewhere to grab. Ooh, look at it all flaking away. And it just gives you space, okay? So, let's see. I'm going to cut all of them, but I'm going to serve them out too. So, there is one already pre-cut and ready to go on somebody's plate. And I'm going to go ahead and cut the rest of these and look at inside those. Ooh, buddy, see all the corn and the black beans? And there's chicken in there and cheese and spinach. That is a great way, if you have picky eaters, to sneak spinach in. Spinach is a good one, gives us iron. That is the big thing that spinach gives us. That's why Popeye ate it. All right, guys. So I'm going to finish slicing these up and serve them up. Now on the plate, what I'm going to serve them with is a little dessert cup that I've put some ranch in. Around here, that's our preferred dipping. You could also do these with blue cheese if you wanted to up the cheese. It's really just to your taste. And if you're really hardcore, you could probably put some, sriracha sauce or something like that on your plate. It's really your choice. It's your taste. You could put some more Valentina on here. Remember, that's what we used on our chicken to get it a little bit of flavor. So I'm going to finish cutting these up. These are our dinner tonight, and I'm hungry. So I'm going to go enjoy these, and I hope that you have a great rest of your evening and a blessed week. Y'all come back and come see us. If you enjoyed the content, please consider subscribing. Thank y'all so much. Have a great evening. Bye now.